A big thank you to all of you who like, comment, subscribe and share my videos, or through other means support this channel. You are what makes this channel grow and become a resource for other people to learn from. Enough about how awesome you are, back to the video. Welcome back. So in this video we are going to be taking a look at the Quest Map Pro pack on the Epic Marketplace, and this will be an asset review of the pack. I was given a free copy of the asset to review and look over and give feedback upon. So how this will work is I will go through and tell you what this pack is. I will tell you what this pack is not. I will then proceed to show you off the demo level that is available with the pack that shows off a lot of its features. And lastly, we are going to look at a simple level where I integrated this asset pack. So the level will be something very simple. I don't have a very advanced level for something that would be suitable for an asset like this. So the last part will mainly be a sort of measure of how easy it is to integrate and how far you can get with approximately 1 hour of going through the documentation and trying to integrate it into your existing system, or just starting off from scratch. So those are the different parts that we will be going through, and then I'll be mentioning some pros and cons as I have found them while using this and from my knowledge of this asset pack. So starting off, what is Quest Map Pro? Quest Map Pro is a map system. It allows you to make use of a map. It allows you to make use of a minimap. You have a compass. You have some quest-related navigation and functionality available to you. And the pack is, as far as today at least, still being worked upon. At the point of this recording, the developer has recently released version 1.4, and we'll go into a little bit more detail about what has been added in the versions later on. So it's being improved upon and expanded upon as far as functionality goes, and that's something you can take with you. The developer himself makes it very clear that you should make sure to buy the pack based on the existing functionality, because there's no hard promise on what things on the roadmap will actually be completed. Hopefully more features will be completed in the future, but there are no promises, as I said, and even though he has shown up to this point that he is still working on it, that could change at any point if something happens or he decides to move on to a different project, or for some other reason feels like he doesn't want to continue with this asset. But that aside, that is essentially what this pack is. Now what this pack is not is a questing system. So the naming of Quest Map Pro might feel a little bit misleading, or maybe unfortunate perhaps, because it doesn't have a quest system in it. It does have functionality to sort of allow easy hook-ins from a quest system if you were to get one on the marketplace or create one yourself. He does have in his demo level, however, a sort of rudimentary demonstration of a quest system, just for showing off how it could be working together with the map system. So that's something you can keep in mind if you want to perhaps look into that and build upon what has been done there, or maybe use that as a template for your own system. So that's what I want to make perfectly clear here. This is mainly a pretty feature-full map asset. It is not a quest system. With that said, let's take a look at the demo level that is available with this system. So here we are on the demo map. Let's click play and you can see what this actually shows off. So starting off here, you can see a bunch of different things. Let's go through them one at a time. In the top of the screen you have the compass, which allows you to point to the different directions, north, west, east. You also see a palm tree over here in this direction. We'll get back to that a little bit later. In the bottom right you have a minimap that shows your character's direction and position in the world, and the minimap rotates along with your camera moving around. To the left you can see we have a quest tracker that's connected to the quest demonstration system that's available in this demo level, but again there is no fully fledged quest system connected to this as a system. And in addition to that, we also have some functionality here where we can like interact, and we see some stuff like holding control for info. You get some handy input keys to make use of to navigate the different functionality that's available. So we can press M to see our map, for example. And here you can see we have some other features available, which is that we have the same vision sort of as we have on our minimap, but you also see that we have a fog of war effect going on here. So we have a texture placed on top of the actual map, and you can reveal parts where the character moves around. In addition to that, we also have a question mark over here, which we can see, which represents, I believe, a landmark in this case. So there are a few terms available in this pack. Landmarks, there are points of interest, etc., etc. And these also can show up on your map and on your compass, depending on what it is and how you set it up. There's a lot of flexibility in adjusting what you want to show up on the map when it comes to both the world map, which is this large map, and the minimap, which is down here to the right. So there's a lot of configurability here, flexibility for having the system display what you want it to display, which is a good thing. Anyway, let's show off what the demo actually has here. So we're pressing E here, the world explodes, and we're presented with this map. Over there we can see that we have a quest marker 200 meters away. That's where our quest is. We can also see it by the compass, and we also get this sort of navigation trail here that's using the Unreal Engine navigation pathing to determine how we can reach this point. So let's just move along here in a steady pace. You can also see here there's some information. Moving along here, you'll get an example of some different systems and functionality that is available while going around and displaying things related to the map and the quests themselves. So up front here we have a quest area, and moving into the quest area we can see we have this ring around the quest area, and inside of this quest area we have now a bunch of different things that are available to us. If we zoom in on them, nothing shows to begin with if you're zoomed out like this, but zooming in further you get these sort of widget icons displaying that these are related to our quests. Running up to these bushes, then we can pick the berries from the bushes as part of our quest, because we're supposed to pick 15 berries there in the left you can see. And picking these berries up like so. We have now completed that stage of the quest, and it leads us on to the next part of the quest. So in this case we want to go here around the house, and we want to place all our berries on the pallet over here. We get the next stage in our quest, and you can see that the compass updates with information like the berries that are available over here and things like that. Now we're supposed to cross the bridge. We can use the map to set a waypoint. In this case we can use our mouse to move around and pan our map if we want to. We can also right click on the map to set out waypoints, and these will appear on the compass as well. You can also shift right click to place custom markers that have specific names like, I don't know, and some icon and some color, and then add them, and you can see that they're available here. So there's a bunch of functionality that is related to your interaction with the map. In this case we were supposed to go to the bridge. If we right click on bridge, we'll get a marker for that, and you can see that it's highlighted up on the compass as well, and we can proceed over there. Over here by the next quest objective, actually not this stage but further on, we can see that we have deal with enemy leader. Now you can actually see that we have a quest objective related, or a quest marker, showing up both on our compass and our map. that is dynamically being updated as the character moves around, which is the actor that represents the leader over here. So you don't have to have stationary things, you can also have them related to actors. Moving up to this actor, it will immediately die, and we have done our quest over here, and we're supposed to find a buried crate. We need to follow the road. And actually, let's see if this is... No, it's not. We'll just finish off this a little bit quickly here, because after this there's a little bit of more functionality that we can see, and if we get here we can find the buried treasure somewhere in the area, it says. Looking around, you can see over here we have a pallet, we can press E to open the crate. We have now completed this part of the quest. Now it is instructing us that we have time to fast travel. So going to our map, we have over here a landmark which is called home, and the home here has been configured to be a fast travel point, so if we left click on this point we will be able to fast travel as well. So that's also integrated to the map system. And then we finish off by just going to the beach over here, and we are done with the demo level. So that shows off in a pretty neat package all of the different things, how you can connect them together and make it like work with your map. Now let's take a look at what I accomplished with 1 hour of going through the documentation and creating, following it myself. Starting off, this is the wiki page for the documentation, and you can see you have a lot of information here. You have overviews where you can get a lot of different segments, like the different features. So we can go through them a little bit quickly in a moment, but other than that I want to show you that you have the Discord available, you have the YouTube, you have some links to other things, a roadmap, update history, and you also have, and this is probably the most important part if you're going to be buying or getting this system, the integration part showing you how to actually make use of this system. So in text form you can go through and do all of these different parts, but they also exist for the most part as YouTube videos if you are more of a visual learner and want to follow along that way and have it demonstrated, as well on the YouTube channel. So whichever one fits you best, go ahead with that one. Me personally, I went through the text and did that part to go through and set up the project, and we'll see the result in a little bit. For now, let's take a look at what has happened. So version 1 features brings us directly to the YouTube channel. It was not exactly what I wanted to do. Let's see here. Let's do this instead. Let's go over here. And let's see here, where is it? It's going to be... Actually, I think it is available here in the update history as well. Yeah, okay. So if we want to go with the very latest when it comes to features that was added to the asset, we have version 1.4, which was just a few days ago. Inside of this we got map capture filters, which is a way to use some post-processing to allow you to have some control over how your scene looks depending on the different parts of the map. You have a 3D widget support, which is going to be a actual, what feels like an actor in the world map that you can bring out and look at, sort of like, I don't know, Sea of Thieves or something. You have compass degrees counters, so you can see the degrees that you're looking at and not just the directions of north, east and south and so on. Extended game support, save game support, and that's the things that was in 1.4. In 1.3 he added discovery actors, location widgets, minimap rotation. In version 1.2 he added a player ping system, map marker filter widget, and editor utility widgets. So you can see that there are things happening in this system, which is of course nice if you are considering buying it. And in addition to that, if you check out the page for the asset itself, you can see that it has a good star rating. Everybody has given it 5 stars. You can see that all the reviews here are being replied to by the publisher. So he is very responsive when it comes to supporting this, which is a very valuable thing when it comes to assets. In some cases, the amount of support you get might be more important than the asset itself in some cases, because you might need help to get things to work, depending on your level of knowledge in the engine and putting systems together and such. So in addition to the support by himself and on the Discord and on YouTube and on the wiki, you should be pretty covered when it comes to all of those parts. Now let's take a look at what we can accomplish in 1 hour. So here we have the level that I'm going to be making use of here, and you can see it's very simple. It's just a slight expansion on the normal template level that is available when you create a version Unreal Engine 5 project. What was done to this was not a whole lot. We created a player controller. Inside of the player controller we added 3 components, one that corresponds to the map, one to the compass, and one that is a general manager keeping track of things. Inside of the map we changed a few things around. We created a map texture level, and this was essentially actually, let's open that up a little bit quickly and you can see what that looks like. So this is what the map looks like from a bird's perspective above. The orthographic view, of course. This was generated inside of the engine itself. You could have a map created outside in Photoshop or anything like that if you wanted to, but there is a helper available in the packet which allows you to just take a image straight up from what the level looks like, which is kind of nice. If we go to here, you can see here we have a map helper. This is what created that texture. So inside of it, we need to set up some things. We need to set up some resolutions, and all of this is available in the wiki, of course. We need to have some points that designate what is the corners of the map. So I have created these targets are available or was placed in the world to make use of to have assigned for this map helper, because it needs to have one in the top left and one in the bottom right, and that way it makes use of that to determine what is the map area from above, and that is being used in calculations for a bunch of different things, but among them is creating the map. In addition to that, we have also added a landmark area over here, which we have given a custom landmark icon. We have given it a name. Inside of that we have connected it to this player start over here, which is a travel point that you use for fast traveling. So we can fast travel to this location as soon as we have discovered it. And that is more or less all that we have created. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So starting off, you get a lot of stuff out of the box pretty easily here. You have the compass available to you, you have the minimap, and I have set up 0 widgets for this at all. Pressing M, I've just set up some inputs that allows us to toggle the minimap, the map, and the compass if we wanted to, so those can be turned off or on depending on what we want to. We have the fog of war effect here. This one was a little bit of a problem to set up. I had to have a certain setting available or set in the generation of the texture for our map for the fog of war to work, which took me a little bit to figure out, so that was a little bit unfortunate. So some time vanished doing that part, but you can see that when we're moving around now that it's drawing a render target and revealing the map as we're moving along, just like it did in the demo level. So that's pretty nice. And you can also see here that if we go to the right, we have the star that's gray, and if we come close enough it becomes white and is considered discovered, and it's now available to us as a fast travel point. We can also move over it and you can see that it has the custom information that we added to it as well. I have also put in a placeholder, sort of like if you had a quest system kind of thing, where I can add a quest. So a quest was added over here now, so you can see it's over here. It's the LeafBranchGames Quest of Destiny. So we can move to that point if we wanted to. and I have simulated that the quest is getting completed as well here, because again, this doesn't have a quest system, so there are some things that allow you to hook into it and make use of it, even though it's not a fully fledged system. Now that we have the travel point over here, we can just left click on it and we'll fast travel to it, and that's what that looks like. So all of this was reading through the documentation and setting up and done in about an hour. So not a whole lot of time, which speaks a little bit about its simplicity. So let's talk a little bit about what the pros and cons are with the system. So starting off with the pros, what are the pros? Well, it is as far as I can tell, a pretty robust system that is very easily accessed by a user that wants to make use of it as a third-party software, which is really good if you just need a map asset and hook it up into your existing functionality. So that it's very easy and fairly quick to get up and running is very good. It also has a lot of flexibility when it comes to the different settings. So all the different settings that you have on, for example, the map here, you have a bunch of different things that you can change, like how often things are updating, the resolutions of different things, all of this that are things that you can tweak as you need to if you're feeling that you're getting a performance hit or you don't need that kind of effectiveness. He has a bunch of performance things built in, like you can have the map that you are displaying, although I didn't activate it for this specific level. You could zoom in on the map. I'm not sure if I demonstrated that. And then you can have good fidelity even when you zoom in, simply by having higher resolution or same resolution sub maps, I guess we can call it, loaded in as you're keeping to zoom in on the map. And while it's doing that, it doesn't keep every other segmented part loaded in. So there has been a lot of consideration taken for keeping it optimized, as far as I can tell, which is really good. Another good thing that is nice with this project is that the code is well documented. There's a lot of code. I haven't gone through all of it, but for the most part, I find a lot of comments that are explaining a lot of the different parts, and it's fairly well structured when it comes to the different parts, both when it comes to functionality and functions and variables and naming and such things. So it is a pretty big project, so it's not easy to get a hang of everything of it, but if you are in the need of doing so, you have been given a lot of help through the commenting and the structure of the code, as far as I can tell. Again, since the project is so large, I have not been able to go through all of the code base, but it is pretty good so far. In addition to that, something else that I haven't mentioned is that the pack is supposed to be replicated. I do believe it says so somewhere here. I have not tried it in multiplayer, so I can't speak for that, but that's a nice feature, of course, as well, if you want to make use of it for having waypoints that both players or more than two can see at the same time. When it comes to cons, the main part I think that most people will have a problem with is probably that this system is made for Unreal Engine 5, so you can see the supported engine versions here start at 5.0. I do believe there's an effort being made to create it for a Unreal Engine 4.x version, but until that is actually done, maybe don't take it as a promise. So if that's important to you, this is something that you should definitely keep in mind, because not everybody has moved on to Unreal Engine 5. So if you are a person still using Unreal Engine 4, you might want to wait a bit and see. Another con might be the pricing of the pack, and this of course depends. The pack has, according to Orbital, the the market over here. The pack has been released previously at the price point of $50 and is currently at $70. So it might behoove you to be an early adopter, because as more features are added, the price might go up again. Although that's speculation, purely speculation from my part. You might want to talk to the creator on the Discord if that's something that's going to happen, if you're on the fence about it. Again, as far as I know, the publisher of this, the developer, has been very helpful to anyone who needs help, and will surely keep you informed if you have questions regarding that as well. And that's also something that I should have mentioned as a big plus for the asset. The support itself seems to be top-notch, which is of course very important to some people, so that's really nice. And the wiki itself is, as far as I can tell, almost complete. There are maybe some parts here and there that could lead to some issues, like the fog of war took me a while to figure out, for example, and things like that. So you might run into some small problems or hiccups over there, but the wiki together with the YouTube and the Discord, you should not have an issue, I think. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. I hope that this was informative enough for you to make a decision if this is something that's going to be of interest for you or not, in regards to getting this asset or keeping it on your wish list. Anyway, that's all. Keep on learning. Take care. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you did not like it, leave a dislike. Leave any suggestions or comments you have down below. Subscribe and share this video if you want to see more like it in the future. That is all for now. Keep on learning. Take care.